sister sitting store what I'm about to preach on. Damn, sister, close the door. Watch what you step out on. I said, hey, sister, so before you become a sin, I said, hey, sister, there is more, even if you think there isn't. When you live your life day to day, there will always be obstacles in your way. But don't let that get you down, girl.
Hey, sister. We are back, sisters, as promised, every day at noon in the month of March. And today is a special day because it's our day. It's the International Day of Women's History, Women's Contributions, and celebrating with me is the lovely Miss Jennifer.
Thank you, Nadia.
Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for coming on with us this morning. Now, you are having one of those Murphy Laws mornings. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's one of those, you make things work. You have, this is life. This is life in its full force. Ta-da. We're doing the interview from the car because I'm in transit between emergency vet and not having a vehicle. I'm in my daughter's vehicle at the moment.
Yeah, that this is testament to why we have a day and why we're taking the entire month, because this is what we do, right? We take care of everybody else and we manage to show up for ourselves, and then we get right back onto the horse,
Very much so. Very much so. And this is the fun part of being a woman and a mom, more so,
right?
Is that you make it work. You just make it work. You don't know how, but then again, the how is never yours to know. So you just make it work. Perfect example.
Yes. And I mean, sometimes we really want to tell Murphy what to do with his law, but even when it shows up, we're like, you know what, I'm going to woman through this. I'm going to woman up and get through this. That's right.
Very much.
So thank you for, adding your presence here and making sure that, with everything going on, we are here for our sisters who are tuning in live, who are watching us on the replay, because we have something to share that is going to be of help to you, and we want to make sure that we do that. So Jennifer, before we jump into all of our chit chat, please tell us all about you and your glory.
I'm not feeling very glorious right now, other than ta-da, Wonder Woman, I'm making it through the day. I'm a my focus is on the money expertise. Now, how I got into it has very much to do with the womanness of it all, because I used to be a financial dependent as a stay-at-home mom, and then upon the our couple breakup, I had to figure it out. So very much it's that mom again that goes, okay, we're just going to figure it out. What do we have to do? And the 12 years that preceded now, basically, the 12 years that came after the breakup have been a reconstruction of me and my money story and everything that's coming with it, because of course you cannot look at money as a separate entity. It's an energy, so it's very much a part of who you are. It's part of your person, your personality, your character, your mindset, everything. It comes back to you, and I've had to reinvent to be able to move forward. So it's and I am finally bringing my knowledge forward. I've managed to structure it, not only in my own head, but through programs. And I just finished last week, I finished a 12-week beta. that blew my own mind away. It blew my students' minds away, but it blew my own because I thought I can give them this. I gave them this. And I was
Yes,
like, this, it's a confirmation of the power of transferring the knowledge to other women. And so
absolutely.
grateful.
Absolutely. And you know what? So many of us find ourselves in these moments of, like you said, having to repattern our lives, start from scratch almost. And there's a lot of, like, we're talking about it in past tense, we're talking about it, but there's so much stress and angst and worry and anxiety. There's so much that happens in that space, and it may not be just a simple, oh yes, I'm just going to go change my whole life, I'm going to get a haircut and my life will be forever different. There's process to that. Do you mind sharing a little bit with us about how you went from the anxiety and all of the emotions to, I just, delivered my 12-week data?
Well, it's been a long process, but
Hmm.
really it had to start with me.
Hmm.
And what happened was like you said, the anxiety and the stress were leading. And
Hmm.
it was almost like I had to look at me as the two people, the emotions that just kind of go through the wheel and the takeover,
Hmm.
and the logic of keep the straight path. So where's the in between? Honestly, there was no in between. There was feeling the feelings and saying thank you for sharing, I'm going that way because I don't have a choice, because
Yeah.
I had to make sure that things were happening, invoices were being covered. I had to make sure I could put money on food on the table for my kids.
Hmm.
And so it was a process of the logic took over, and I started teaching myself. I started
Hmm.
reading, and I couldn't sleep because of the stress. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought might as well make the best again, like today, make the
Yeah.
best out of my time and make the best out of the situation.
Yeah.
And when I couldn't sleep, I would crack open a book and start
Hmm.
to learn about, okay, what's
Yeah.
this,
Just
what's
pour
that, and
that
just,
in.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I was eating it up in
Hmm.
here. And because sec- failure was not an option.
Hmm.
Done. So it's really like most moms, you figure it out. You have to,
Yes.
it's not, we can't say sorry that you're not eating today. It's going to be, we're going to figure out how to make it work. And if it means we're eating rice, well then tough luck, we're eating
Yeah.
rice, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we'll
Yeah.
dress it up with a little bit of this and that. Right? And mom always figures it out.
Exactly. It's so true. And thank you for sharing that, because we may be talking to a woman who's in that space, who can't see 12 years down the road, and we really want her to be encouraged today. We want you, sis, to be encouraged that life looks different on the other side, and you can get to the other side of that transition, as crazy, as challenging, as unfair, even as it may all feel and seem. There's so much more life to live on the other side of that transition. Now, in order to transition, you talked about the emotions and the logic. Does that hint to me, Jennifer, that women can be logical?
Honestly, you have to be logical with money
Mhm.
because money is an energy. And if you tie in your emotions and all of that, then it just becomes this crazy spiral upwards like a tornado. And
Yes.
you, to make money work, you have to be in the logic side of things and
Mhm.
literally say thank you to the emotions. Thank you for sharing. I know you're
Yeah.
there. I'm going to choose not to pay attention to you right now because right now it's a mathematical formula. We need to make it work.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's really it's interesting because money is tied to the emotions. It
Mhm.
is right. We we get a bill in the mail, and we're usually, our emotions go like, oh, I gotta pay this. How am I gonna pay this? Right? The
Yeah.
emotions go down. Or we buy a lottery ticket and we win $10 and we're euphoric, right? It's like, it's that constant. So money is tied to emotion.
Yeah.
And when it comes to money, you kind of have to say, sorry, dear, move.
Yeah.
Let's just plug in the numbers,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's math. You don't have, you cannot put
Yes.
emotions in there somehow. So
Yes.
it's very interesting. But you definitely need to feel the feelings and then decide that you're going to go
Back.
that way, the practical way. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. And I just wanted to be noted that women can be very logical about money and men can be very emotional about money. And it's not, it's not that you unlearn all of these things because you're a woman, but we are equipping, how do you manage your emotions in all of these spaces when money is high, when money is low? How do you manage your money? And those are two separate managements that need to happen. And so what Jennifer is bringing to us is this understanding, that we are managing on multiple levels all at the same time. Yeah.
In other words, the mom.
Exactly. Now, at some point, in order to get through all of the transitions, in order for you to have gotten yourself to this point, I'm assuming somewhere in there you had a vision for yourself, something that said, oh, I can't just give up and throw in the towel here. There's more. In your own opinion, what would you say is the importance of having vision?
The vision is important because it gives us a target to work towards. And again, as moms, for sure, I think that most moms are equipped to definitely, if not all moms, but we're equipped to figure it out. So it's a matter of having that vision, holding that picture in front of you as your personal target, and then finding the windy road to get there. My vision was pretty much, my vision was all about, I got to win at my own game. I got to get myself out of this. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I want to have stability. That was the big vision. I want to have stability for myself, for my kids. And it progressed. Again, the how is never ours to know. And give it up to the universe. The universe is always watching your back. And it happened. It happened with hard work. Like, I'm not going to say, serenity now and just drop it onto me, but it's an intertwinement of emotions and feelings and desires, as well as logic. Like, the logic part is you still need to take action. It's not just going to fall from the sky.
That's right.
So it was keeping the logic train going and then keeping the emotion train going and letting them run parallel, side by side, and just go, okay, like, I trust there's not going to be anything on those train tracks to derail anything. Keep going.
I mean, that trust in the process is massive, because especially when we're at a point where trust in general has been diminished. We've been hurt, we've caused pain. We are in a place where trust is not necessarily at its strongest point, and yet here we are, being positioned once again to trust the process as we learn and we clarify our vision and we move and we go. Now, we talked about looking at our emotions, feeling them well up, feel the fear and do it anyway, feel the anxiety, feel all of it, and just give it its place and say, okay, I know you're here and I know I need to pay you some attention, but I also have the choice to sit in the emotion or not right now. And I can choose whichever one I need to at that point in time. No, that's us giving power to ourselves, deciding where and how we will speak, where and how we'll, shift our energy and where we'll put our attention. But a lot of times other people can make those determinations for us. Has there been a time in your life where you felt as though your voice was diminished or silenced by a circumstance or by another person?
I've got to giggle because that's pretty much been all of my life, Nadia. At home, definitely, I nobody would listen, so I learned to be very quiet. Now, the advantage of that is that because I couldn't speak, it made other senses, it heightened other senses. So I became a really good observer. So the information, any information I get around me would come in very quickly. And then obviously in my relationship, my marital relationship, there was pretty much not much of a voice. I thought I was heard, but I don't believe I was. And of course, then this happened, which I'm very grateful for. I wouldn't be where I am today without that breakup, and it was good
Right.
for all of us. He's happily remarried as well, so it's all good. But it's interesting how that's been a theme in my life about the staying quiet.
Right.
And now
Yeah.
for this is literally the first time that I said, no, I need to share this. And again,
Yes.
I was almost quieted into it because what do I know? What do I know? Right? It's my own personal doubt that creeps. Like I start to talk. Somebody put me up to it. Somebody put my feet to the fire and said, you need to do this.
Right.
And like I said, I was blown away by the results. So
Yeah.
they were even above my own expectations. And now it's like silence no more.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And in this whole process of defining vision and finding your voice again and giving yourself permission to be held accountable, so that even when you might want to silence your own voice, you have someone else there saying, girl, come on, you're gonna, we're gonna do this. And that really is a powerful statement that in community, where we lack that moment of strength that we need, that self-talk, that self-doubt, that somebody else could come and put our feet to the fire. Happy International Women's Day. That's notice the last name. That's my sweetheart there. Hi.
Thank you. It's my mother's birthday today, so it's
Yay,
very appropriate.
mommy. Yes. So with all of this now you're finally giving yourself permission to tell your story. Yeah. You're finally giving yourself permission to open up about it, to share. This is a pretty public platform, so that other people, other women can tap in. You're taking your knowledge in money and finance and you're making sure that other women, you're transferring that,
Yeah.
And you talk about exceeding your own expectations and being able to go beyond. So tell me this idea then of writing your story, not physically necessarily, but taking control of the narrative, deciding on the version of your story. How does that make you feel?
You're right on. This is exactly what had to happen. It's not about pulling the past into the future. It's about that part of my life. Now, if I want something different, I need to do something different. So a rewrite is an absolute must as a beginning step to anything you do, whether it's a new relationship, a new money story, a new money outcome, right? The outcome can only...
You're still here? Oh, wait, we've lost your voice now. See, there we go. Things wanting to silence us. Yeah, we got you.
No, that was a phone call coming through. but basically, it everything has to start with a rewrite, no matter what chunk, when no matter what part of your life. I mean, think I'm here,
There
and
we go.
here.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Think about when you have a kid. It's part of your story, but it's a new chapter in
That's
your
right.
couple. So
Mhm.
there needs to be a rewrite if now
Mhm.
3 people are going to move forward.
Mhm.
So there's always a rewrite process that must be done as a initial step. Now,
Yes.
it has to start with a decision.
That's right.
So again, right, and it's so, because we're talking about stuff that you cannot see. You're talking about stuff that's not tangible and not
Mhm.
touchable.
Mhm.
And so it's so hard for us to identify it. We
Mhm.
have to either read it from somewhere or hear it from somewhere. And then, of course, it's like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Sense.
And
Yeah.
then we can start going through the process, but it's
Mhm.
never that obvious, especially when we're in it,
In it.
because
Yeah.
we can never see the forest for the trees in anything that we do, for sure.
Yes, yes. No, you're right. It's not tangible. But as women, we start off with this knowing, this strange ability to know. And that pattern of silencing ourselves disconnects us from that ability to just know, you know? And so when we get this chance now to tap into this knowing once again and to feel empowered, with our voice and our vision and whatnot, we have this opportunity to walk in our victory. What comes to your mind? What imagery comes to your mind when you hear the word victory?
I love the word victory. It's a very empowering word to me. Um, the Like I shared before, victory to me means really winning at my own game, and it's not for anybody else. It's for me to hit my targets and my goals. And really, I the only thing I think about, I visualize, I should say, is that as entrepreneurs, as driven people, whether you're women or men, as driven people, you're always you have to set that target, but the target is never a determined finish line. It's going to be a finish line to go towards, but as you approach it, it becomes a checkpoint.
Yes.
And then,
And then there's
so
another point. Yeah.
exactly, so
Yeah.
that finish line is always a moving target. So
Mhm.
that victory is really about going from checkpoint to checkpoint and celebrating, not
That's right.
forget to celebrating. And right,
That's right. Pat yourself on the back. Yeah.
a lot of the times, don't expect celebration from other people.
It's not.
Celebrate
That's right.
yourself. You
Were
have
you listening to our affirmation this morning? Because
no,
that's what we were talking about.
maybe intuitively I did. But
Yes.
it really does. It has to come, like, you have the strongest voice within you, right? We were talking about narrative earlier.
Yes. Yes.
We each have our strongest voice within us. Now, to, we have to, somebody else can tell us something 10 times until they're blue in the face. If we don't hear it, and if we're not
Mm.
ready to receive it,
Mhm.
we will not take it in.
That's right.
Therefore, our voice to ourselves is our strongest voice.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
personal celebration is not
Yeah.
only necessary, it's also very empowering in itself.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. So we are celebrating ourselves today, and we're celebrating for the whole month. And in case you missed it, we are here all year long to celebrate women and our contributions. So if you want a chance to go deeper, I'll make sure that you can connect with Jennifer and find out more about how she's able to help you with that money mind, and how she's able to help you bring that management, that emotional management and financial management into your sphere, connecting with you so that you get it from someone who understands not just what to do, but what you're going through in your life, you know? And if you want to go deeper with us, we have so much in store for you this year. So coming up in April, we have an event called Hey Sister, Let's Color. And guess what we'll be doing? We'll be coloring. Because guess what? We get the kids their coloring books and stuff, and that keeps them quiet. But we totally forgot that it's a place of calm, you know, and when everything is going crazy in the whole world and we got Murphy and his law showing up on a random Monday morning, we can take that space and that time for ourselves. So let's do that in community. We'll be talking about the affirmations in the Soulful Color book, written by our soul sister, Sophia J. Jackson. That's the voice that you hear in all of our videos. Make sure you know the name, make sure you know the voice. And we'll be talking with her as she, similarly to Jennifer, brings this conversation of finances as a mental health and mental wellness conversation, right? I mean, how are we going to talk about self-care when you're freaking out over the cost of bubble bath, right? Like, let's bring all of these things in, because like Jennifer said, it's not in silos. It's all a part of one life, you know, one story. It's all mixed in. And all throughout the year, beginning in April, our members will get access to 5 masterminds every month, led by 5 amazing women from literally across the globe. And we will be bringing to you conversations and mastermind sessions with breakout sessions, hot seat coaching, Q&As, the whole works, all every single month from April on, 5 masterminds each month. And we're focusing on vision, voice, version, and victory this year. So you do not want to miss out on that. You want to be a part of that. Make sure that you are. So all of those links will be here available. Jennifer, thank you so very much. Any parting words before we go?
Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for the makeshift office.
Girl, we do this all the time. We just, like you said, we just figure these things out, you know, we keep it moving.
And I do also have a 5-day free event coming up, and that's starting next week.
Okay.
So yeah, jump on my Facebook group. You'll get some more information on that. And let's get moving with the money mindset this year.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, my dear. Thanks to all the sisters and all the how would you say this? All the people celebrating with our sisters today. Thank you for joining with us. And we'll be back here at noon Eastern time tomorrow with yet another sister, because we're here all month long showing up just for you. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, sister, sitting store, what am I about to preach on? Damn, sister, close the door, watch what you step out on. I said, hey, sister, so before you become a sin, I said, hey, sister, there is more, even if you think there isn't. When you live your life day to day, there will always be obstacles in your way.